Ja Morant, a standout player for the Memphis Grizzlies, has had a fantastic start to the new season. Morant was excited to return to the court after last season's sad conclusion, and so far, he's played with some major intensity. After a successful season, Morant received extremely high acclaim from numerous famous players who named him the NBA's future face. Pretty big claims, right? First up, Ja Morant is a superstar this NBA season and could be the new future face of the NBA. It makes sense that fans are now paying attention to the up-and-coming superstar who is predicted to take over the league since LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant are currently in the ending stages of their huge careers. Ja Morant is currently the most exciting player to watch because he's a walking highlight reel whenever he's playing. He's become a true force to be reckoned with as Morant's Memphis Grizzlies are progressively moving up the MVP debate ladder as he gets better each season. The best aspect is that the Grizzlies organization's current status appears sustainable and will probably keep them competitive for the future. Morant is undoubtedly the top candidate to succeed because of how much he values his stature. According to journalist Stephen A., who asserted that since he is the face of the ESPN network, he's knowledgeable of who the face of the NBA is. Also, when you stop to think about it, James, Curry, and Durant didn't establish their legacies or gain their current level of attention until they began to win titles. Not to disparage Morant specifically, but Stephen A's assertion that Ja might serve as the league's face is very audacious. At the absolute least, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's only 28 years old, Jason Tatum, Doncic, and Zion Williamson, as well as Morant, are all strong contenders for that honor. Whatever the case, there's still a lot of time in basketball left to be played before the transition from old to new big faces. But Morant could eventually rule if the league comes true, only time will tell. Now, let's take a closer look at how Ja Morant has become the top paint scorer this season. When you observe how effortlessly Morant moves to the paint and finishes at the rim, it's easy to see why he has become the best paint scorer this season. The 2022 All-Star naturally belongs among the NBA's greatest players. Now the 23-year-old has led the league in points scored in the paint last season, becoming the first ever guard to do so in the last 25 years. Pretty impressive, right? He accomplishes this using a burst that God gave him, the ability to change directions like a cheetah. Furthermore, Morant has studied the play of athletic guards like Derrick Rose and Allen Iverson, two outstanding guards who won MVP awards in 2001 and 2011, respectively, an ironic 10 years apart. In addition to his uncanny abilities to score at the hoop while avoiding and dribbling around centers, Morant uses his floater as one of his weapons. Morant is averaging 14.5 points in the paint per game, which ranks 6th highest in the league. And he's made 40.7% of the 90 floaters he has attempted this season. He hit 44.7% of the team's shots last year. Morant enjoys leaping to the rim from 1 foot, 2 feet, or from his left instead of his right, or vice versa. This season, Morant has a 57.5% completion rate on left-hand layups. In the last 25 years, Morant has played 37 games with 20 or more paint points, ranking 4th among guards behind Dwayne Wade, Russell Westbrook, and of course Kobe Bryant. Morant is the only player under 6'3" in the top 7 paint scorers for points per game this season, so as you can see, he has an incredible amount of talent. In other exciting news, 6 new trophies have been made bearing the names of iconic and legendary NBA players. 6 freshly created trophies bearing the names of NBA superstars were unveiled by the National Basketball Association, NBA, today. These trophies will be given to the winners of the Kia Performance Award after the season concludes. Now, what's cool about these is that the collection of reinvented trophies pays tribute to the faces who made the league what it is today, with the first being headlined by the legendary Michael Jordan Trophy, which will be given to the Kia NBA Most Valuable Player. The Michael Jordan Trophy, named after the NBA legend widely recognized as the greatest player of all time, will now be presented to the league's MVP. What makes this award even more special is that 5 times during this amazing career, Jordan received the MVP award. The Hall of Famer also received 6 NBA titles, 6 MVP awards for the NBA Finals, selections to the 50th and 75th anniversary teams of the NBA, selections to 11 All-NBA teams, 14 All-Star selections, 3 MVP awards for the NBA All-Star Game, 10 scoring titles, and awards for Defensive Players of the Year and Rookie of the Year. The new trophy, which represents an NBA player's road road to achieving an MVP was designed by former Nike Inc. VP of Innovation's Special Project, Mark Smith, in collaboration with Jordan. Over the past 20 years, Smith and Jordan have worked on numerous projects. Victor Solomon, a visual artist, will produce the trophy every year. A basketball player bursting out of a rock to reach the ultimate rock, a crystal basketball, is depicted on the bronze trophy. The trophy's patina, which progresses from raw to refined, from the bottom to the top, symbolizes the MVP's perseverance and development from joining the league to winning the NBA's top individual prize. Now, the length of the trophy represents an MVP's never-ending quest for excellence. At the conclusion of the 2022-23 season, the NBA will launch the Kia NBA Clutch Player of the Year award, with the Jerry West Trophy going to the winner. The NBA player who most supports his teammates in crunch time will get the award, which will be decided upon by a media panel based on nominations by NBA head coaches. West's exceptional shooting after close games earned him the moniker Mr. Clutch from legendary Los Angeles Lakers broadcaster Chick Hearn. As you can see, these awards and trophies are a great way to connect old to new basketball and a way for the legends who pioneered this sport to always be remembered. Finally, here are a few faces that need to be benched ASAP. First up, in no particular order, Eric Gordon. Can a competitive team finally force Gordon out of Space City? The front office, and especially the coaching staff, have undoubtedly enjoyed Gordon's presence as the adult in the room throughout Houston's post-James Harden reconstruction, but really, how much more knowledge does the 33-year-old have to impart at this point? Keeping him in such a prominent position when he is so obviously not a part of the long-term plan simply can't have much benefit. By the way, he's not only a regular starter, right now he's playing the most minutes in the last 4 seasons, 30.1. Given his history of injuries, this would be the ideal time to wrap Gordon in bubble wrap and let one of the other young Rockets, Terry Eason or Kenyon Martin Jr., would make excellent candidates to enter the starting 5 to speed their starts. Next up, Mason Plumlee. They were aware of this team's need for a fresh interior presence even before LaMelo Ball's ankle injury ended the Hornets season. Because of this, Charlotte has frequently been mentioned in connection with all trade discussions involving available bigs. This is why the team selected Mark Williams, a 7-foot, 240-pounder out of Duke, with the 15th overall choice this summer. Additionally, it explains why Plumlee, the Hornets starter at center both this year and last, has outlived his usefulness in Buzz City. If he was the solution, they wouldn't be looking for a new job, right? It makes no sense to put Plumlee in Williams's or Nick Richards' way as an obstacle, because this season is all about skill development. Both of those players, or just one of them, might actually have a future with this team. Evidently, Plumlee doesn't. Also, Lamar Stevens. Recall all the speculation throughout training camp as to which Cavaliers player would start at small forward. The debate has yet to be resolved. Despite the campaign being almost 2 months old, Stevens has recently been the favored option. Starting all 11 of the games in which he has appeared, he is at best a shoddy fix. Possibly even a stand-in while Dean Wade recovers. Stevens, who didn't even play in the rotation for the first 12 games, is a motivator. He frequently faces the top perimeter danger from the opposition, but playing hard only gets you so far. He cannot work his way into a trustworthy 3-ball, for example. Stevens isn't even taking 2 shots per game, while shooting a career-best 38.5% from a distance thus far. Don't be surprised if his shooting percentage drops off at some point, because he also shot 24.4% in each of his first 2 seasons. And lastly, D'Angelo Russell. Don't be fooled by Russell's recent mini-scoring run. He's always been able to get buckets no matter what. The concern has long been about his capacity to obtain them consistently and effectively. Oh, and bringing anything to the table other than scoring and mediocre table setting also falls under this category. It's clear that Russell isn't the solution at point guard. The Timberwolves can probably admit, if they are honest with themselves, they have in some respects already done so, as they benched Russell for the final minutes of their Game 6 loss to the Memphis Grizzlies, putting their 2022 playoff run in jeopardy. Then this summer, they decided not to renew his contract, which left him eligible for unrestricted free agency the next offseason. They either don't believe Russell is the most outstanding candidate for the point guard position, or they need to see more to make a judgment. But the statistics show that Minnesota can perform better. Unfortunately, guys, that's all the time we had for today. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thanks for watching.